Welcome back, everyone, to the Red Mountain Radio. As always, I'm your host, Brooklyn Anaya, and today we've got something else for you, a special look with Student Council into No Place Like Homecoming. For those of you who haven't listened in before, in this podcast we'll be discussing everything at and in Red Mountain High School. From sports to performing arts, student and staff inquiries, we've got it all here at the Red Mountain Podcast. This episode's focus is on the homecoming dance with two special guests from the life of the party, Student Council, featuring Bagnasco and Kacie Roberts. Let's take a listen to that conversation. Hey listeners, I'm here with Kacie Roberts.
Hi.
And Bagnasco.
How you doing?
From Student Council. Thank you guys so much for being here today. We're super excited to have you on the podcast. In order to get this rolling, we need to look at the source of everything amazing that happens here at Red Mountain, which is you guys, the unsung heroes, Student Council. Can you guys tell me a little bit about Student Council?
I think of council as like a really well-oiled machine. We're given something that we know needs to get done quite a few weeks ahead of time, and then we all just work together to get it done on time and by the deadline.
I agree with that statement, Kacie. I think Student Council is a great club to join, and we are very positive in the way that we deal with situations and problems. We also deal with a lot of stressors with homework and stuff like that, like the time management, which is something that is key to being an active member and responsible member in the club.
It's kind of cool to hear about how different clubs work because they all have their own little unique ticks, things that each of them run off of. And Student Council, as the biggest club here at Red Mountain, just nice to know how it kind of all works. Yeah.
Thank you for saying so.
Appreciate that.
So, Kacie, what's your position in Student Council?
I am the student body secretary.
Oh, what does that do?
When it comes down to business meetings or anything where we have to help other clubs, stuff like that, I'm in charge of any paperwork that goes on behind the scenes and stuff such as that.
Nice. And what about you, Cole?
I'm a sophomore representative.
Oh.
That technically means that I'm there to help out whenever I'm needed, like for designing or creating props or any backdrops, anything like that.
Kind of like the everything guy.
I'm the everything guy. You know me.
You're a floater.
I am.
As previously mentioned, Student Council is the biggest club here on campus. What does the group of Student Council kids look like? Is it a really diverse group of people?
Yeah, I would say Miss Pomonis, our advisor, her goal was to always make our group as diverse as possible. Councils before, when she had first started here, were very honor students, and they were all kind of copy and paste. But over the years, she's really tried to get different groups of kids so that we really can see what the student body likes and hit different points all around the school.
That's a great point. I like that, Kacie. I think our group right now for the 2024-2025 season, we are a very diverse group. That's what kind of makes Student Council so great because there's so many ideas that each of us have from our own different experiences. So any way that we can get new ideas out there, we love to have it, and we love to have new people.
So there's a lot of kids in the Student Council, I take it.
Absolutely. I know last year we had people sitting on the floor because we did not have enough desks for how many kids we had.
Oh my gosh, that must be difficult to communicate with everybody, to cover bases and get out points. So how do you guys communicate with each other in order to make Student Council the well-oiled machine that it is?
I would really say that it's definitely something we need to work on a little better this year, but always having stuff up on the whiteboard when you come in class, making sure we remind you at the beginning and the end, and just friends updating each other, just texting, anything like that, just always making sure everyone's aware of what's going on.
In order to be a really sound and efficient club, we are able to communicate with our teachers and our student members, like the other group members. That's a really good trait that we have as a club because
Absolutely.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It's a really good trait that we have because in order for us to plan out different events or how to do a certain activity project, we need to be able to communicate, for instance, times that we're going to be doing this event, who's going to be there.
Yeah.
Speaking of events, the homecoming dance, No Place Like Homecoming, is coming up this Saturday. What steps has Student Council taken to prepare for this major event in the school year?
Student Council has been planning this for, how many weeks would it be now, Kacie?
About 2, 3, 4.
2, 3, 4. Okay. And it's been, yes, there are sometimes that it gets chaotic, but I think it's the way that our chaos is very controlled chaos. So we have it all under our belt so that we can flourish to create amazing events that every student at Red Mountain can enjoy.
I love the way that you said we were controlled chaos, because that's truly what I would say is a description of council. I'd say there's always a lot going on, lots of problems that happen, but we are a big group of problem solvers. And sometimes we get a little hard-headed and don't want to give up on our ideas, but we absolutely do our very best to work together, keep a smile on our face, and create awesome events so the whole student body can enjoy them.
Speaking of events, I want to talk about the events last year and how their legacy kind of creates a new path for the events this year. I know last year at one of the assemblies we had fire dancers. That probably was one of the coolest things I've seen from student council. And I want to know what steps you guys have taken this year in order to make it even better than last.
I'd say a lot of it is we really grab a huge group of all the people who were there to experience events such as those, and we all really work together to see how we can one-up it, but still stay within budget and try and navigate what our school is liking, because a lot of the time, like even with songs that we come up for to have at HOCO, we always have to edit through it and revise, because a lot of the time kids grow out of it, so it's always something that we need to keep working on, and so we can make it better every year.
I agree with that. I like that a lot. I think every year it's like a new start almost. Like we learn new lessons from past years, and we take those lessons and use it kind of as like our advantage, so we know what worked and what didn't work. For example, this year I think we're trying to make everything more simple, not as complicated with the games and like entertainment, I guess.
You guys aren't showing your hand that much, almost like you want to keep it a surprise.
Hey. Gotta keep it close to the vest.
Absolutely, it's what we do best.
Yeah. Can you guys tell me anything about this year's homecoming? Maybe what you guys are expecting for it? What students can expect? Is it gonna be great?
Absolutely. I would say it's gonna be an awesome homecoming, just like it is every single year. And we will be doing our best to keep everyone on their toes about it, but just expect to have the time of your life, honestly.
True that. I think she said it the best that we could have said it, right? I mean, like, absolutely, it'll be. I think it'll be one of the best homecomings you'll ever see.
Oh my gosh!
Big promises.
So foreboding, but so fun.
Yes.
All right, now I want to talk about you guys as individuals. What inspired you to join student council?
Do you want to take it first, Cole?
I'll take it. I was inspired to join student council because I think I'm almost born leader, like sometimes. And for the most part, student council does have a lot of great leaders in our class, and we kind of like sharpen each other like metal against metal, honestly. And I think it honestly makes us all better as leaders. And this class is kind of like the future leaders, I'd say.
I would say that back in my junior high, elementary era, I was a very shy, closed-off kid, and I didn't really ever want to speak to anyone. And I remember my freshman year going and seeing all the club booths, and I saw student council, and they were so loud, and there was the loudest music playing, and they were just talking to everyone. And it almost made me felt like I was just like a part of the group already, and it just felt like a family, and I was like, I really want to experience that for myself. So I joined, and I've been there ever since.
Oh, home sweet home at student council. So beforehand, Cole, you mentioned that it takes a lot to balance your homework, student life, student council. How do you manage all of that?
I think it all stems to being able to manage both lives, because we have like 2 different lives, and they're both very important to me, and I like to manage my time as best as I can, like with, like, for example, my homework and my other activities. Like, I just think it's all about time management and always staying committed to doing what's going to help you and improve you as a person.
Take some cold time.
Take some cold time sometimes, you know?
Yeah. What about you, Kacie?
I have to say, as a quick ode to my mother, she likes to say this a lot, is that I complain. That's what I do best. And I don't know how it works, but whenever I complain about how much stuff I have to do, I feel a little bit better about it. But I definitely say it's also just making sure you kind of break away from things. I definitely have the mindset of where I leave council, and all I can think about for the day is what can I do next in council? How can I fix this problem? And I'd say you really do just have to take some cool time and work on yourself, do some breathing, and just try to separate from everything, get your work done, and then you can come back to thinking about council.
I just want to make it known that it is a very competitive club to join. There is a lot of interest from the students here at Red Mountain, but we are willing to take anybody, and if you're willing to work and stay committed and be positive all around, then we'll take you.
One thing that we always do talk about in council is that we are never going to get really recognized as much by students or the student body, even though we are making events for them, and our whole club obviously revolves around them. Usually it's teachers or security guards or something who will walk up and say, oh, that was a really cool assembly. And I just think that it's really awesome that we can get on here and kind of talk about how much work actually goes into it behind the scenes and what our mindset is the whole time. So thank you.
Well, Kacie, Cole, it looks like our time is up today.
Aww.
Thank you guys
Too
for
bad.
sharing so much about Student Council. I'm so excited for homecoming.
Me
It's
too.
gonna be great. Maybe I'll see you guys there. Question mark?
Possibly.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Possibly.
So thank you guys again for coming on the pod today. We always love to have clubs here just to get a little bit more into the culture at Red Mountain. And you guys seem like a really great club with some really great, committed, creative people. So thanks, guys, just so much.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us. Thank you. Appreciated it.
Well, you all have a good day and hopefully a good year of Student Council.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
See y'all.
Signing out.
Sayonara.
Bye-bye.
Everyone, that was Kacie Roberts and Cole Bagnasco from Red Mountain Student Council. Some events to look forward to are the homecoming game on Friday the 13th at 7 p.m. The theme is blackout, so wear your darkest clothes and show your Red Mountain Lion pride. The big event, the RMHS 2024 homecoming, is this Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. Get your last-minute tickets for $40 in the bookstore. Coming up, next week on the Red Mountain Radio, another episode of the Sports Insider, swim and dive, and girls volleyball. Tune in next week to get the full scoop on both of these sports. Thanks again for tuning in to the Student Council Special, Season 4 of the Red Mountain Radio. Thanks to Cole and Kacie for joining me today. You can follow us on Instagram at REDMTNRADIO to receive updates on episode drops and fun behind the scenes insights. I'm your host, Brooklyn Anaya, and thanks again for joining me on this podcast episode. Today's episode was written by Brooklyn Anaya. Our directors are Brooklyn Anaya and Connor Sampson. Our producers are Mr. Kelly from RMTV, Brooklyn Anaya, and Connor Sampson. Our sound engineer is Connor Sampson. Thanks to Connor Sampson for mixing and editing the sound. Thanks to our special guests for this episode, Cole Bagnasco and Kacie Roberts. And last, but certainly not the least, thanks to you, listener, for tuning in today. Your support is what keeps us making episodes. This was the Student Council Homecoming Special, Season 4 by the Red Mountain Radio. There's no place like homecoming. And my cringe status is back to where it was. Oh my gosh. It's getting a little bit less cringe, I think.